Welcome to all. Today, here we discuss the subject of a interconnected power system. To the topic of load flow studies, in the previous video lecture, we discussed the various parameters related to the load flow studies. That are the static load flow equation and what is the load flow study and how it is important in a power system, interconnected power system. We know that load flow studies it is a very important topic and commercial use in the power system. To the related of the load flow studies, we previous discussed the static load flow equation. Static load flow equation is generally dependent on real power and reactive power flow. For the next topic, we previously also discussed that are the bus classification. Bus classification it is important in a transmission and distribution line. It is also related with the generating system. So that are the three parts of a bus classification that we should consider for the generation, transmission and distribution. The classification related of the buses, first of all we consider the load buses. Load buses are generally uh, other name is known as a PQ buses because it is a specified quantities in a load buses that are P and Q. The P initial it is a active power and Q initial it is a reactive power form. That are the specified quantities in a load buses. In the load buses, there are quantities to be obtained that are V value and magnitude angle delta, that are phase voltage and angle delta, which is a obtained quantities. Magnitude and phase angle quantities, it is a obtained quantities. Other buses that are the generator buses. Generator buses it is a specified quantities and obtained quantities, that is a specified quantities, it is a voltage magnitude and active power it is a specified quantities, and reactive power and phase angle it is a obtained quantities. So the generator buses other name we should know it is a PV buses. Other also we should name of them it is a voltage controlled buses, that are the generator buses. The third one it is a slack bus. Other name it is reference buses. It is a name said reference buses, so it is a base and starting with the generator side, so it is a reference buses. The generator how it is work and the value of input and output dependent on this slack or generator buses. When the generator output given to the transmission line, various losses and other parameters are connected in the system. So the slack buses it is a very important parameters for the calculation of load flow equation. We also discussed in a previous topic it is a approximate method for the load flow solution. Approximate method for the load flow solution. Approximate method it is a assumption made for the load flow. It is a very simple and assumption basis method, that are the small line resistance are neglected. Here it is speedily discussed with the approximate method. Now we speedily discuss the approximate method, the parameters for the load flow solution, that are the first of all for the approximate method we as a revision basis it is a first of point it is small line resistance are neglected, which means that the active power losses in the line, it is 0. The effect of this assumption is the equation of active power and reactive power, that are the angle between them, it is a 90 degree. Second one, it is a voltage magnitude at various buses must be in a limit. The third one, it is active and reactive generator power at different buses must be within the minimum and maximum limits. It is an active and reactive generator at different buses that are must be in minimum and maximum value of them. The next parameters, it is a total power generation must be equal to the total load plus losses. It is a generation and losses are balancing condition. The total power generation must be equal to the total load plus losses. The next point, it is a power system stability based. The power system stability consideration impose a limit of the maximum value with angle delta. It is the stability considered to the limit of the maximum value with the angle delta. The sixth one, it is based other than the slack buses are PV buses. All the buses other than the slack buses are PV buses considered. The voltage magnitude at all the buses, including the slack buses, are specified. It is a specified quantities. And last one, it is the angle delta. It is a small than other angle sine angle. So angle delta, it is a small angle related to the sine angle. Sine angle, it is based on active and reactive power value. Now here we start this topic for the various method for the load flow solution. Load flow solution, it is a solution related to the parameters of active and reactive power, voltage magnitude and phase angle. So by using all this method, we can easily calculate for the load flow solution. For the method that are Gauss-Illeശ്ov method, Gauss-Seidel method, Newton-Raphson method, decoupled load flow method and fast decoupled load flow method are very important for and uses in the solution of a load flow studies. Now we discuss all the method in detail. First of all, we start with the Gauss-Illeശ്ov method. The Gauss-Illeശ്ov method, it is used for a linear algebraic equation. Linear algebraic equation, it is related for the Gauss-Illeശ്ov method. It is a trial and error method in providing a sufficiently accurate numerical solution by using the Gauss-Illeശ്ov method. For the Gauss-Illeschov method, it is we said earlier, for the trial and error method for the providing a sufficiently accurate numerical solution. By using this method, we should follow the some steps for the solving of the Gauss-Illeschov method. First step, it is a Gauss-Illeschov solution approximately. Gauss-Illeschov solution approximately we should consider. Next step, it is step 2. It is this solution is used in a conjunction with the original equation and compute with new and more accurate estimate for the solution purpose. So it is a second step, it is important. It is this solution first step, it is solution used in a conjunction with the original equation to complete a new and more accurate estimate for the solution. The third step, it is step number 3. It is the second estimate. It is used to find the third estimate. This is in the third steps. The second estimate, it is used to find the third estimate. And step number 4, it is the process is continuous until the difference between the successive and estimate it is approximately negligible. So in the fourth step, it is a continuously and fourth, fifth, and up to when it is a approximately negligible value difference between the successive estimate and approximately estimate value. So all the fourth step are solved by using this fourth step. The Gauss iterative method is work. Uh, Now I repeat all the steps that are. First of all, in the step number 1, it is a Gauss iterative solution is approximately to find. The next, it is the solution. It is used in a conjunction with the original equation to compute a new and more accurate estimate for the solution. The third one, it is second estimate. It is used to find the third estimate. And fourth one, it is the process is continuous until the difference between successive estimate and uh, extremely negligible. So all these four steps are used in a Gauss iterative method. Now we discuss there are some also disadvantages also. The disadvantages, Gauss iterative method. The first disadvantage is this method is required to extremely a large number of interactions to reach the sufficiently close to the solution. But with the use of the computers, it may not be throughout the drawbacks. So it is a, we say that it is a drawback, but this method is required to extremely a large number of interactions to reach the sufficiently close to the solution. But with the use of the computers, it may not be through used as a drawback. It is the drawback like it is a use to iteratively reach the sufficiently close solution that are the large number of results. But by using the computers, it is not difficult for them. And second one, it is this method may not be convergence if the solutions does not exist or if the iterations process is not in work. So this method is that are the disadvantages of them. First disadvantages is this method is required extremely large number of interactions to reach the sufficiently close to the solution. There are the disadvantages. But when the use of the computers, it may not be not be through the as a drawback form. And the second one, it is this method may not be convergence if the solution does not exist, if the iteration process is not in difficult form. So both are these disadvantages of a Gauss iterative method. Now we discuss the next method. It is a Gauss-Seidel method. Gauss-Seidel method, it is other name is a GS method. GS method, that are the Gauss-Seidel method. This is one of the simplest method. This method is a modification of a Gauss iterative method. Modification of Gauss iterative method. In the fourth step, it is modified with the Gauss-Seidel method. This modification is reduce the number of iterations. In the GI method, there are the number of iterations will be large. But in the Gauss-Seidel method, the number of iterations will be less comparatively to the Gauss iterative method. In the GS method, it is suitable for power flow studies for the small power system, and it is solved a load flow problem by using this method. We can consider the two cases. By using this method, we should consider the two cases. Case number 1, it is when the PV buses are absent. When PV buses are absent in the transmission line. And case 2, it is when the PV buses are present. When PV buses are present, here it is the meaning for the case 1, when the PV buses are absent, that are the PQ buses are present. And when the PV buses are present, it means the PQ buses are absent. So both are in relation with them. So now we should start the case number 1. It is a case 1. It is when the PV buses are absent. PV buses are absent. Let us consider that are the total 3 buses in a power system. We should consider the 3 buses in a power system. The slack buses is numbered 1 and remaining are n minus 1. So the slack buses is numbered 1 and the remaining buses, that are the n minus 1. So we said we should write that the total 3 buses and 1 bus is a slack bus, that are the 2 buses are PQ buses. The voltage assumptions for them, it is a V suffix I, that is 1 pu per unit value, positive form in a limit form. The bus admittance matrix for the three buses system, we can write here as a bus admittance matrix, that are bus admittance matrix for the 3 buses, that is Y11 V1, Y12 V2, Y13 V3, Y21 V1, Y22 V2, Y23 V3. It is admittance matrix. We previously discussed in chapter number 2 how the bus admittance matrix in a creation in a form of a 3 buses system. The third one, it is a Y31 V1. For the bus admittance in the third line, it is a Y32 V2 y3 3 v3, and the next is v1 v2 and v3 line is equal to current basis, it is I1 I2 and I3 form. By using this bus admittance matrix, we should write the bus 1, bus 2 and bus 3 equation that are as a equation 1 for the equation for the bus 1. Equation for the bus 1 by using this bus admittance matrix that are y11 v1 plus y12 v2 plus y13 v3 is equal to I1. That are the equation number 1 for the purpose of a bus equation 1, and equation for the bus 2 equation for the bus 2 that are y21 v1 plus y22 v2 plus y23 v3 is equal to I2. That is equation number 2, and equation for bus 3 it is y31 v1 plus y32 v2 plus y33 v3 is equal to I3. That are the equation number 3. All these equations are bus 1, bus 2 and bus 3. In the general form of this all this equation, we write the value I suffix small I is equal to sigma k is equal to 1 up to n suffix I, and the value of them it is yik into vk, where I is equal to 1 2 up to n. This is the general form of all these equation. It is I1 I2 and I3, so it is a common, we can write them, it is I suffix I it is a 1 2 up to n, and all this value y and v form that are y11 y23 y31, that is a common form of a yik, and v1 v2 v3 it is common form of a k vk. Now the expression for the complex number, the general expression for the complex number, it is s. So s is equal to p plus j into q. We know that the p value it is a active power and q value it is a reactive form, so it is a common form, it is a vi conjugate. This is the equation number 4, the general expression for the complex power. It is a general expression for the complex power. Now at a bus 2, the equation number 4 it is modified as a P2. As a bus 2, the equation 4 it is modified like P2 is equal to P2 plus JQ2, it is equal to V2 into I2 conjugate. It is modified from that for the bus 2. So by using this equation we can write here I2 conjugate it's equal to P2 plus JQ2 upon V2 equation number 5. So for the purpose of them in the modification, that are the conjugate form, but when we write the value of I2, it is I2 is equal to P2 minus JQ2 upon V2 conjugate. Both are the in a modified form for the I2 and conjugate I2 equation. It is equation number 6. For the substitute the expression for I2 into the equation number for the equation number 2, it is substitute with the I2 in expression number 2, we get that substitute I2 in equation number 2. So the output of them, it is y21 v1 plus y22 v2 plus y23 v3 is equal to p2 minus jq2 upon v2. From the equation number, it is equation number 7. From the equation number 7, we express the v2 can be determined by using the value of y22 v2 is equal to p2 minus jq2 upon v2. It is the equation number 7. Express the v2 can be determined. For the expression v2 minus y21 v1 plus y23 v3 in a common form. So for the updated version of this equation, it is the form of v2 is equal to 1 upon y22 common p2 minus jq2 upon v2 conjugate minus y21 v1 plus y23 v3 is a equation number 8. It is equation number 8. For the general, the expression for the voltage at ith bus, we can write the value of general form. The voltage at ith bus is, we can write the value of them, it is v suffix I is equal to 1 upon y I, it is a common equation, so common general equation, so it is a form of I, and pi minus jqi upon vi conjugate minus sigma k is equal to 1 and k is not equal to I up to nth value, and the multiplication of y and v, it is y ik and vk. It is a general voltage at the ith bus is equation, where I value is equal to 1 to up to n, and I is not equal to 1, so it is a 2 3 up to n સુધી, and I is not equal to 1, it is a slack bus, because it is a slack bus is, we should consider in a starting of them. Slack bus is the other name of them, it is a reference bus. So this is the common equation for the voltage at ith bus is form. The process is known as the GS method. This method is known as the GS method, and iterative, it is a R plus 1 form, and the voltage at ith bus is at the express of them.